what's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. Happy Hump Day to all of you. It is so good to see you all again. Welcome to the midweek broadcast here at Black Outcast Media Broadcasting. Before we get started, I just want to say, first of all, thank you all for taking the time to come and check your brother out today. As you all well know, I'm consistently blown away and grateful by the fact that anybody listens to me. Right? That's not being self-deprecating. That's just knowing the state of affairs where you live in a world where everybody's got different opportunities to hear different things, to observe different things, to view different content. And the fact that you choose to come here and be with me is a consistent source of joy for me, a pleasure for me, and an honor for me. So thank all of you, my angry black sheep, for your love, support, your time, your eyeballs, your hearts, your minds, your ears. Next thing I want to remind you guys, in the links of every video, every broadcast, there's a description, down in the description area, there's links to reports, resources, material to help you understand not just what we're fighting for, but why we fight. Get up on your ADOS advocacy. There's also links there to support my work. If you like what I do and you think it's worthy of its hire, shoot a brother a couple of dollars. I'm really looking for people who are willing to commit on a regular basis via Patreon. I'm asking that we all put $5 on it, but even $1 via Patreon a month is definitely useful, appreciated, and so please consider doing that if you haven't done so. Before we get into today's broadcast, let me do the usual. Let me shout everybody out here. I got Sister Denny in the house. Peace, Miss Denny. Hoi. Right? Brother John's in the house. My brother in Logic and Mindfulness, Brother Zulu's in the house. Universal Mike, I see you, fam, and I love you. Thank you, by the way, Mike, for asking about my health. I'm doing really well today. Let's see here. Ms. Denny, right off the bat with the support, I definitely appreciate you, sister. Thank you so much for that. Void Ninjas in the house, family, what's good for you? You know what I mean? Sister Shar, mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you, Sister Shar. Welcome to the broadcast and happy hump day to you. Unsunken Ones in the house. Pat Asar Hotep is in the house. Oh boy, Peach is in the house. Pretty Muslima, Sister Salam, I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Let me see. I think I shouted everybody out. So with that done, family, let's go ahead and get started. Today's broadcast, fam, is going to be, I'll say, lightweight in a sense. We're not going to be hitting any major heavy-duty thinking cap stuff. This is more along the lines of, I want you guys to think about some things, right? So we're going to have a conversation today. By the way, shout out to my sister Monty. I see you. Happy hump day and welcome to the broadcast. Brother Albert, what's good, fam? I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Today, we're going to talk about the common denominator, right? Now, for those of you who are familiar with basic math, right? Because some of us struggle with math, right? So no shade. But for those of you who are familiar with basic math, the common denominator is a number or a series of numbers that are divisible into another number, right? So when you talk about the common denominator, what you're talking about is the one thing, the one number that permeates a whole series of different numbers, right? Like if you have 12, if you have 48, if you have 36, and so on and so forth, a common denominator would be 3, right? And so on and so forth. Now, I'm using the term common denominator in the sense of people, so it's a different aspect, but I wanted to give you a kind of a mental latch hook to hang the concept on, right? Recently, fam, I've been doing a lot of looking at history, right? Every so often, I like to do what I call a trip back in time, right? Where I basically look at a particular topic and I go back as far as I can go, right? As far back as I understand the history to be, right? And being ADOS, this is important because so often in our travails here in the United States, people have worked overtime to ensure that we remain a ahistorical people, right? Meaning without, and historical means without history, right? So ahistorical, that we're a people without a history. We're a people without a nation, a place, a history, right? So it's important for us as ADOS to kind of go back and take a look and reflect on history. And what triggered it was recently there was an episode of a TV show where white folks got to find out about the Tulsa Massacre. And for many of us who are proponents and advocates for ADOS, the idea that somebody would not know about one of the greatest atrocities that were committed against our people in the 20th century is mind-boggling to us, right? We're thinking to ourselves, how in the hell can someone claim to be an American and not be aware of what happened between June 1st and June 4th, 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Fam, I actually visited Greenwood. I went there, right? There's a museum there in Greenwood that shows what occurred, that tells the story. And out in front of this museum, there is a black pillar, a stela, right? That has the names of the individuals believed to have been killed by the white citizens of Tulsa during that 4-day massacre. Tulsa, Oklahoma, specifically the Greenwood neighborhood in which we presided, was also the locale of the first bombing of an American city from the air ever in history. That's right. No American city had ever been bombed from the air until 1921 in Tulsa, where the sheriff and other individuals flew overhead in a farmer's biplane and dropped sticks of dynamite from the plane onto the houses below, blowing them apart. So the idea that you have people who claim to be American, right, who claim to be our fellow citizens, who are completely unaware of one of the greatest acts of domestic terrorism on American soil, boggles the mind. And I, as ADOS, as your brother, as one who loves you, never want to be caught flat-footed when it comes to understanding America's history. And the reason why, fam, is essentially simple, right? American history is ADOS history, and ADOS history is American history. Like, we have this tendency to believe that our narrative is somehow divorced or separated from the larger narrative of the United States of America. When in point of fact, there is no way to tell the story of America without the narrative of ADOS. There is no way. There's no way to talk cohesively, coherently about American history and not include us. It's impossible. We are America's history. We encapsulate every single part of American history. So I like to take these trips, if you will, back through time, right? And reflect on the lessons of history. Many of you have probably guessed, but I'm a huge fan of philosophy, right? And there's a philosopher named George Santayana who said, and I quote, "Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it." Those who do not understand the history, the lessons that history has to teach us, will find themselves dashed upon its rocks. So we as ADOS, no matter how boring you thought history was, right? When you were sitting in the class and you had to take the test, and one of the questions on the test was, when was the War of 1812? And you couldn't answer because you didn't think 1812. No matter if that was the case, you as ADOS do not have the luxury of neglecting history. Because that historical thread, that narrative, is a common denominator of our Americanness. Without a doubt. I'm so much of a fan of history, I study every people's history. I study world history. I'm not limiting myself to just us, right? The studying of history tells you the study of humanity, of people, how we operate, how we think, right? What's likely to occur and what's likely not to occur, and so on and so forth, you dig? Now, in this most recent journey back through history, in light of our current efforts to press home this justice claim, I wanted to look at the history of advocacy, right? The history of us fighting for our due as citizens and as the builders and the creators of the United States of America, right? So I looked back, all the way back, as far as I can remember, right? I remember reading about a case of a slave in the 1700s who successfully sued her master due to her mistreatment, right? Even then, even before America was America, we struggled against mistreatment, enslavement, brutality, theft, rapine, murder at the hands of the people who had colonized this nation. I remember reminding myself about Crispus Attucks standing there in the front of the crowd, protesting the crown, because taxation without representation is bullshit. And when the British soldiers opened fire on the crowd, he was the first to fall. A black man, an ADOS man, right? I look at all of the struggles, right? All of the fights. I look at the inestimable Nat Turner, may he rest. I look at Martin Delany, Paul Cuffey, right? I remember everything I could think about when it comes to Bass Reeves. When I look at Denmark Vesey, right? I look at Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Booker T, W.E.B. Du Bois, right? E. Franklin Frazier, Ida B. Wells, and so on and so forth. All of these luminaries, all of these bright lights who lived to fight for justice for us as a people, who fought to ensure that we were able to take advantage of the fruits of America just like everyone else. And then it hit me. There's a common denominator. And the common denominator wasn't them. It wasn't them. It wasn't our heroes. It wasn't our luminaries. It wasn't our best and brightest. No. The common denominator throughout all of those situations and circumstances that I named was you. And it was me. Now, it wasn't you and I specifically. We weren't there. But people like us existed in those times. And we don't read about them, do we? We don't know much about them. We don't know very many of those people's names. And there's a reason why. Because while you had people like Martin Delany, standing up in front of white men, white women, and speaking out on behalf of his people. You had a lot of brothers and sisters who didn't say shit. They were free. They could have done just like Martin Delaney, but they fell back. They figured it was better to just go ahead and do what they could to get the bag, to take care of their families, to just not rock the boat. Right? When you look at what Nat Turner attempted to accomplish, there was approximately 70 slaves who said, oh, and they put in work. But how many had the opportunity to march with our brother who said, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. We ain't gonna never get free from these white folks. Master's gonna always be in charge. They just gonna kill us. Man, you need to stop with all this freedom talk. Shout out to you, James. Respect to you, bruh. Shout out to my brother Chad, and also known as ADOS Reparation 2020. Shout out to Sheer Thomas. Welcome to the broadcast, y'all. How many? I remember reading about John Brown and his raid on Harper's Ferry. Shout out to my esteemed family here, Tab Liquor. Welcome to the broadcast. Happy Hump Day to you. John Brown's plan, fam, was simple. As simple a plan as one could come up with. His plan was to raid Harper's Ferry, the U.S. Armory in Harper's Ferry, and armed with those weapons, proceed throughout the South, arming slaves for a general insurrection, not just against their own little plantation slave owner, but against all of them. The easiest damn plan you could possibly come up with. And he could have pulled it off too. But the common denominator is that every single time we have made a push towards building the last capstone of America, which is justice, there's always been somebody who said, yeah, I'm going to wait and see what happens. Or that's a good idea. I wish them luck. Or, man, I don't know what them niggas on, man, but I can't. The common denominator with all of these circumstances, all of these scenarios, has been you and me. And why do I say you and me, right? Because when I look throughout history, the thing that throws me for a loop isn't how many of us failed to struggle, failed to fight. What throws me for a loop is how many of us actually chose to fight. You see, because if you look at the predominant number of us, the predominant number of us have always either held back, waited to see what would happen, or flat out refused to get involved. And we have a myriad of ways we do it too, fam. Not all of them are, patently cowardly, bootlicking, buck dancing, sellout ass ways of doing it. No, there are many ways that we have sidelined ourselves, that we have found some way to let the struggle go around us while never getting involved in it. Kind of like a damn boulder sitting in the middle of the stream. The stream flows around the boulder. The boulder doesn't move with the stream. Shout out to my fam, Easy Be Easy. Happy Hump Day. Welcome to the broadcast. Also, shout out to Brother Ted and Sister Paula. Virginia's in the house too, as well as Brother James. I see y'all. Welcome to the broadcast. The common denominator in this last trip throughout history, fam, that I took, the common denominator was apathy. The common denominator was fear, apathy, so much we could do. So many visions. There were those of us who had a vision of creating a nation within the United States, a nation within a nation. People like the Black Panther Party for self-defense and other groups. There have been religious visions or spiritual visions. The Nation of Islam taught us that we were the original man, the seed from which all human beings spring on the planet Earth. That everyone else are our children. And that our rightful place is in a place of care and concern and leadership. And not only was that our proper place, but that was our proper place ordained by Allah himself, by God. We've had all different types of visions. Any of which, by the way, fam, could have got us to a point of accessing the true justice that is our birthright as ADOS. Yeah, I said it. Like, we sit here and have these debates about the right way and the wrong way to pursue this justice claim. But the fact is that there are a myriad of different ways, any one of which could be successful. But the problem, the common denominator, every single time is that you and I refuse to get on board. We refuse to find our place on the battlefield and get in it. On this broad battlefront, right? This broad battlefront that goes through every area of human activity, right? Education, entertainment, law, labor, politics, religion, sex, war, and so on, right? In every area of human activity, this battlefield, this battlefront that we have as broad as the horizon. But the common denominator is that we've always waited for somebody else to go up front. Always. A brother is inspired or a sister is inspired by reading the Declaration of Independence and seeing the words that all men are created equal with inalienable rights given to them by their creator. And they take that vision and they bring it to the people and they say this vision alone will be enough to carry us to the end, to the promised land. And what do the people give the vision bearers in return? Excuses. Oh man, why are you begging these white folks for freedom? You know, we just got to continue to do for self. If we just stick with our own, bro, we don't have nothing. But that's all right. We can get something if we just do it all up. We get guff. We get bullshit. You know, though, it's not surprising. It's not surprising because I can go all the way back to Yeshua, Jesus, Joshua, who said that a prophet is never respected in his own country, right? Our guideposts, our warners, the bearers of the vision, we denigrate. We always have a reason why we can't put up. Always. your hero. Pick your hero. And I can guarantee you that your hero had to bear so much alone because there were ADOS faces there who could have helped them carry the burden and chose not to. There's an old saying, fam, that many hands make the work light, right? I, as Mark Black, will struggle trying to lift a boulder out of a river. But if I got 15 of y'all with me, all of a sudden it becomes a hell of a lot easier to do. Many hands make the work light. See, we have all this wisdom from our past, right? Like ideas like it takes a village to raise a child. There's nothing more true. Every black child out there, every ADOS child out there is mine. Right? That as a parent, no, scratch that. As an adult, living, breathing, ADOS human being, your mindset needs to be that every single black child out there drawing breath, whether they issue from your loins or not, are your children. And I mean that in a real sense. I don't mean that figuratively. You didn't give birth to them, but they are just as much your children as anyone else's. You have the right to love them. You have the right to raise them. Salam alaikum to my brother Ibrahim, right? You have the right to love them, the right to raise them, the right to chastise them, the right to care for them, the right to feed them, the right to do everything well. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Because when we had ideas like that in our community, it was a whole different ball game in a lot of ways. As an excerpt, peace, Tezonia, welcome to the broadcast. I see you. When I was a child, other parents would watch you. And it wasn't all the time you got a beating from those other parents. I know people like to tell their stories about how many, woo, I got my ass kicked. I don't like that shit, right? But it was nice to know that we had other parents out there who, when we were out there playing and we got hungry, would call us all in for lunch. She didn't just feed her kids, or he didn't just feed his kids. He fed all of us. It was nice to know that with parents that would send their kid to the store on an errand, and if you went with them, gave you a little dime or a quarter for going too. We had the idea that there was no kid in the neighborhood that didn't belong to another adult in the neighborhood. It takes a village to raise a child, right? We know this. But do we know this, right? Because remember, if you don't learn the lessons of history, you are doomed to repeat it. We have been through a hell in our community that has decimated our peoples, that's destroyed communal action. But you have to ask yourself, family, why is it that we can continue to go through these incidents of destruction of our communal effort and action? Well, the answer is simple, because we won't learn. We won't learn that there has to be a tie that binds always, that can never be broken. There has to be a tie that binds that cannot be broken. Well, guess what, fam? Right now, you exist during a time when we have learned that lesson. And we have learned that lesson through the lens of ADOS, of ADOS. We understand that there is a tie between you and I that can never be broken. And that is a tie of blood, of lineage, of heritage, of culture, of nationality, of history. We finally have a weapon. And the weapon is like glue. Because no matter how many times they try to disarm us, they realize that they can't. You can't disarm me, family. Do you know why you can't disarm me? Because you cannot take away who I was born to. You can't take away my lineage. You cannot take away my heritage. You can try and overwrite my history. But if my people come together as the tribes people we were born to be, as long as one of us remember our history, it is not gone. It is never dead. I need you, family, to understand with me today that the common denominator is for ADOS what it has always been. The common denominator is you and I. Shout out to Toolbox. Welcome to the broadcast. Fam, I don't see how you could look at your people, your tribe, right? The American descendants of slavery, to give us our full title, ADOS. How you could look at us and not constantly find yourself in a state of awe, desirous of grabbing as many other ADOS people as you can find and let them know about what and who we are. I don't know how you can do it. I don't know how. I don't know how, knowing your heritage, your history, your lineage, how that doesn't excite you so much that you can hardly sit still, that you can hardly stand it. I don't know how. I don't know how you could know about a people that have gone through literal hell, the worst crucible that no, scratch that, the worst crucible that the whole entire world had to offer. And like gold, have its impurities melted away, all the dross shifted away, all the scale burned away, so that what came out on the other side is beautiful. I don't know how you can know that and be apathetic. I don't know how you can understand that, truly understand that, fam. Like the Oracle said in the Matrix, from balls to bones. I don't know how you can understand that and still be in your seat. I don't know how you can know that and still be waiting for a savior. I don't know how you can know this and still be sidelining yourself with the usual excuses of, well, you know, white folks already think I'm angry anyway. Why would I want to make it worse for myself? Or, you know, what they talk about sound good, but it ain't never happened. It ain't likely to ever happen, right? How can you still lay your head down at night now that ADOS has come to peel away the scales and the veils from over your eyes? How can you still lay down at night and not have made the decision to stand up with your tribes people in the greatest push, the greatest effort that we could ever make? I don't know how you can do it. I don't know how you can do it. But I do know this. Mister, you got to turn it down. Sorry. I do know this. I do know that our biggest fight isn't going to be with the American government. I wish that were the case. I wish that were the case. I wish that I could point us right at the American government, the political system, the economic system, the religious systems, the legal systems, and all of that. I wish I could point us at them and say, this is it. This is it, fam. We only got this push to make and we're straight. No. Our first fight, the first battle that we have to win, and we have to win it definitively. Do you understand me, fam? There has to be no ambiguity that victory in this matter is ours. The very first enemy we have to destroy is the apathy, the lack of rigor, the lack of discipline, the lack of fire, the lack of understanding amongst ourselves. We each, all of us, have a responsibility. Shout out to my sister Naima. Welcome to the broadcast, sister. We can't be half-stepping this shit, fam. We have to understand that as the descendants of the baddest individuals that ever lived within the confines of the 48 contiguous Alaska and Hawaii, that we have a responsibility to press home justice and to finally make this country live up to the words it's embraced for all these 400 years we've been here. That is our sacred duty. But ultimately, fam, it is a choice. It is a choice. Our sister, Pretty Muslima, is mentioning that we have been undereducated and psychologically abused. And she is absolutely right, fam. And we know this, which means that the work we have to do is not just a work of labor. It is a work of healing, a work of love, a work of the compassion that so many of us lack. But it is going to be work. The common denominator, fam. The common denominator has always been that you could find some rationale to sit on the sideline. That freedom will come, but it will come through the efforts of others. Thank you for the donation, Naima. I appreciate the super chat. That all you have to do is give some money. Oh yeah, I said it. Well, I donated. So what the hell is he talking crazy to me for? Nah, fam. Your money helps. It's important. But we need your voice. We need your hands. We need your eyes. We need your ass even more. We all have been telling ourselves a real comfortable lie to avoid an uncomfortable truth. Martin Luther King said, I've been to the mountaintop and I seen the promised land, and I may not get there with you. Martin was full of shit. On that particular thing, he was full of shit. Because what he should have told us was that I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. And unless you niggas get on board with me and fight for us to press over the top of this mountain to get there, ain't none of us seeing it. He was soft-shoeing us. And we still love him. But I imagine the brother was tired of trying to inspire an apathetic, weak-willed group of folk. who wanted to remain in the status quo because better the devil you know than the devil you don't. You got black people who call a white man the devil, but we still cleave to their ways when they come and influence us to atomize ADOS, to take on every other title except who and what you are. We buy in. The common denominator is a problem of identity. Because every vision bearer tried to link us to the vision when they should have been linking us to the people. The time for those of us to carry the torches will come. But if we don't cleave to the basics, if we don't make the ties that can never be broken, then it doesn't matter what visions we bring. It doesn't matter how high flung the ideals. It doesn't matter how transformational our ideas become. At the end of the day, unfortunately, it's all about blood. It's all about blood and dirt. You know, basic ass shit. Christine, I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Happy Hump Day to you. I'm sorry. You were probably waiting on ADOS to make it complicated. You were waiting on ADOS to tell you a historical narrative of, the genetic splicing of the white man and this, that. No, I'm sorry. We don't have that. What we got is a group of people brought from disparate tribes over in Africa and forged in the killing fields of the South and in the benign neglect areas of the North into a tribe. That's what we got. I'm sorry, I can't make it complicated for you. I can't spin you no exalted yarn of a story of royalty having fallen from grace. No, we were plow people and farmers and artisans and yes, some nobles who got captured in war or who got stolen from our lands. And then we were brought to the shores of Africa and put on boats, slept in our own shit, in our own puke, forced to come up and dance or be thrown overboard. And then even after we were brought here, the strongest and baddest ones amongst us were killed first. Just as an example. Shout out to my sister, Tanzonia. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it, fam. Our best and brightest have always been the first fruits of the sacrifice. We have always sought to do for self, even when doing for self meant lynchings, even when doing for self meant being burned out, defrauded, lied to. And I'm sorry that narrative isn't so shiny that it could be a goddamn 20th Century Fox or a Warner Brothers movie. But it is what it is. That is your heritage. That is your lineage. It all comes down to blood and dirt. We shed the blood for the right to stand on this dirt. It ain't a fucking elegant and lavish story. But it's yours. Because that story, by the way, fam, is a common denominator. That history that nobody wants to watch anymore on the big screen. Oh, I'm sick of seeing slavery movies and this, that, and the third. That history, right? That history of, oh man, if I got to see another movie where the black man got to get on the back of the bus, I swear to God, that history. That's the common denominator. That's the one thing that the government, the white man, or whoever you think the booger bear or the bugaboo of the day is, cannot take away from you. That's the one thing that if they have you in chains and they have you strapped to the floor and they are beating you and hurting you, they cannot take away from you the fact that you are the child of your mother, who was the child of her mother, who was the child of her mother. You, the link in a chain of iron that stretches all the way back to 1619 in the United States of America, even before there was America. No, it's not an elegant story sometimes. No, it's not a story sometimes that you go, woo, like the Empire Strikes Back and the Millennium Falcon comes swooshing in. No, sometimes the story ends with one of our people being buried in a grave that we don't even know where it lies, like they did Nat Turner. But that's okay, because it's still your story nonetheless. It is still the story of your blood on this soil. And it's the key to your justice claim. It's the key to making all the visions that we've all bared throughout all of American history happen. And it's the one thing that this country and everybody in it has long hoped you would never do. Fam, let me tell you something. You want to piss off America? Right? You want to get back at America. You want to take America down from the inside out like this hardcore revolutionary that you claim to be. I'm going to tell you the one damn thing right now that you can do that will take America down. It won't be today. So don't come at me sideways, right? It won't be today, but it will eventually take America down. At least America you know. Here it is. Y'all come in close. Come in close, man. Cleave to your heritage and lineage. Cleave to ADOS. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Everybody in America has been deathly afraid of this transformational moment. Deathly afraid. Why do you think that you get so much pushback as an ADOS proponent, as an advocate for your lineage, for your heritage, for your people? Why do you think you get so much pushback? Most of the pushback you get, surprisingly, ain't from whites. They understand tribalism. They understand, hey, I'm Irish. They understand, hey, I'm German. Right? They understand that shit. No, you get pushback from people that should be understanding. You get pushback from people that look like you, except they're from other places. But yet, isn't it funny? They come here and tell you that you cannot be a tribe, that you cannot cleave to your heritage and to your lineage while waving the flag of the nation and the lineage and the heritage in which they come from. Make that make sense? So it's wrong for you as the American descendant of slavery to separate yourself aside, to make yourself sacred, righteous, holy, special, and true. And you're being told this by everybody who already done the same thing for them and their people. Oh, I'm Bajan. I'm Jamaican. I'm Antiguan, right? Nobody really describes themselves as Ghanaian, right? I'm a Khan. I'm a Diallo. I'm this, I'm that, right? Everybody got their tribe, but you want to figure out how to beat them at their own game. Claim your tribe. Claim it. Claim the name. Claim the motherfucking name. That was the footnote of the conference, fam. The ADOS conference. There was the banner. ADOS conference 2019. And underneath, in real small letters, that most of y'all probably missed, was the key to unlock the golden door to all the visions and all the dreams that all the ADOS have had throughout our whole time of travail here in the United States of America. And that key was claim the name. You want to be a hardcore revolutionary? You want to show Uncle Sam what's what? Claim the name. You want to break the backs of these bigoted, racist bastards and finally press home the greatest justice claim for the greatest atrocity ever committed in the history of America? Claim the name. Own your heritage. Own your lineage. Own your history. Own your narrative. I don't give a damn how ugly sometimes you think it is. It's yours. Frederick Douglass didn't belong to America. Frederick Douglass belonged to me. Nobody gets his story but me. Harriet didn't belong to America. Harriet belonged to me. And nobody gets to tell her story unless it's me and mine. That's what I'm talking about. Claim the name. You are ADOS, the American descendant of slavery. Pure and simple. Whatever other affiliation you want to tie yourself to, go right ahead, fam. There's as many damn different ways to be ADOS as there is ADOS. By the way, let me shout out to my beloved sister August. Welcome to the broadcast. And Sister Alma, welcome to the broadcast as well. Fam, there have been many of you, to make this more personal, there have been many of you who have asked me to sign on for an idea I came up with, right? So let's take it from the high-flung rhetoric and let's talk turkey as family. I have mentioned my desire, my need to see a black PAC, a black political action committee. And I'm going to be honest with you. I want to do it. I not only want to do it, but I'm most likely to do it. Except I have some caveats. As much as I am grateful for the esteem that you all show me and the confidence that you have in my ability to do it, I can't run a PAC by myself. So here's the thing. I'd like to have it organized by the 1st of January, but I will not do it if I'm doing it by myself. It is a burden I do not and will not carry on my own. So for all of you out there who think having a PAC, a black PAC, is a great idea, but you don't want to put nothing more than maybe money up, sorry, I'm asking you for more than your money. I need people who are willing to sit on boards. I need people who can do accounting. I understand basic accounting principles, but I'm not an accountant. To ask me to run an entire political action committee by myself is not only unjust to me, but it's unjust to yourself. If you want a black ADOS political action committee, we can have it, right? Friedrich Nietzsche said that a man can have anything he desires in his life if he does but 2 things. 1, determines what the cost will be to have it, and 2, be willing to pay it. Ted, a PAC is a political action committee. It's essentially a group of people that contribute to organize around a political agenda. I am willing, fam, to do the PAC, but I'm not going to do it by myself. And I don't just need your money. I need your ass. I need your brains. If you are a lawyer, we could use some lawyers. If you know how to talk to people on the phone, we can use that. I'm not going to build this damn thing by myself. I'm not going to be responsible for what could be one of the greatest tools that we have as ADOS for our political advocacy, because I'm not completely qualified, and I'm man enough to come to you and admit that I can't carry the whole thing. I'm perfectly willing to help do research, to help point at politicians and vulnerable districts and all of that other stuff that would allow us to be able to make the effective moves. I'm really good at that type of stuff. I'm really good at inspiration and training, right? But I'm not an accountant. I've never successfully managed a business, and a PAC, a successful Black ADOS political action committee, would be one of the largest businesses in this country. I can't call it. And I would be a fool to tell you that I could carry that by myself. So here's the deal. If I can get 7 people to be willing to sit on the board, if I can get some people who are willing to help do accounting, people who are willing to put their labor and their time in, the money is going to be necessary. I am going to contribute to the PAC financially. But that's not even the most important part. We need to make sure that when we build this thing, we do it right. And that we do right by our people by having qualified people and not just some old janky nigga shit. If you let Mark Black organize it, fam, I can put it together. I know how to incorporate a nonprofit, right? I know how to do all of that stuff. And then I'm going to fall flat on my face with accounting for every dime like Black people wants me to. I'm going to fuck it up. If you have me do it by myself, I will get it started and watch it crash right into the ground. No, I don't just need your money, fam. I need your brains. I need your hands. I need your time. I need your ass.
Excuse me, Mark, have you looked at the chat? You have 3 volunteers already.
Shoot, hey, blackoutcastmedia@gmail. Get at me. So I'm committing to you today, fam, that I will do everything short of die to make sure that this Black PAC takes off, right? Because I have no desire to be a martyr, right? I'm with MLK. I want to live as long as any man. Longevity has its place. I ain't willing to die for this PAC, but I'm willing to live like a motherfucker for it.
Make that for a pretty Muslim is offering her services as well.
I'm familiar with the sisters, right? But my point is, fam, is if you want this thing to happen, stop waiting for me to do it. If you have a topic that you want discussed, that you feel like needs to be discussed, stop waiting on Antonio to address it, or Tariq to address it, or Yvette to address it, or Professor Black Truth to address it, or Jason Black to address it, or Mark Black to address it. And easy be easy, visual art is going to be so important, so you need to reach out to me. Everybody has a talent that they bring to this battlefront. That was what my whole point is in this damn broadcast. The common denominator is we don't need no more excuses. We need bodies. We need no more apathy. We need everybody. I don't give a damn, fam. If the only thing you know how to do is run your black ass mouth, I needs that. Okay? If you only know how to sweep a floor, Gibbs me that. Do you understand? You have been the savior we've been waiting for. None of the people that you esteem can do anything any more than what you can do. I remember reading in the Bible, Yeshua said, greater things than what I have done, you will do. And that was Jesus. He said, you're going to do greater stuff than me. Right? There's no vision that you're asking me to bear, fam, that you can't bear with me, because many hands make the work light. There's no effort, no topic, no nothing that we can't address. By the way, peace to Carmen. Welcome to the broadcast. There is no thing that you can ask from me that I can't do better with you, without you, right? There's no thing. You can't ask me to do anything for you that I can't do better if I have you with me. So stop sidelining yourself. Stop waiting to see what's going to happen with this whole ADOS thing. You know, I'm not Muslim. I'm not yelling, sister. I'm being emphatic, right? I need you to understand that my passion for this thing is beyond words. We need every single body. I don't know how to stress that enough. There is no talent that you have that with me, you don't have it better. There's nothing that I do that without you doesn't make me better. Right, fam? Let's do work. Let's do this, right? We got all these great dreams and goals and aspirations, and they deserve their day in the sun. As long as we cleave to the tide that cannot be broken, right? And we do the work for each other, with each other, many hands, right? Many hands lifting the boulders. Fam, we could end up having our justice claim put, paid to, done, and it won't even feel like we worked all that hard doing it if we have enough of us. But we don't have the luxury, fam, anymore of being just the common denominator. That's all I wanted to say, fam. It's y'all's turn. Y'all want to call in and yell at me because I yelled at y'all. Y'all go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? 425-296-1980 is the number, fam. You know what time it is, right? Pick your place. Pick your battle. Pick your battle. Thank you, pretty Muslima. I'll take this on. And yes, I will delegate. So those of you who have talents you feel are salient to the pack, I need you to reach out to me. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and post my address here right now. All right. Calling from 323. It's your man, Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
Brother Black, this is Chad from LA. Peace,
Chad,
fam.
peace, fam. It's good to hear from you, fam. I hope you understand that your brother wasn't yelling at you, but that I'm passionate and emphatic, right?
Oh, so, brother, you already know how I feel about it. You know, I got that same fire inside of me.
That's
so
right,
your fire
man.
only fuels my fire.
Man,
right? So
you have this?
I never take it as yelling. I never take you as like castigating us or anything. I take it as you passionate, and I'm in that fire with you. So I feel that passion. So absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely, fam.
Keep that going.
What's on your mind, fam? Talk to us.
So number one, I just sent you an email, blackoutcastmedia@gmail.com.
Yes,
so
sir.
count me in. I bring my skills to the table. Whatever you need, just let me know when the kickoff intro is going to be, and we get this work done.
Absolutely.
So you already got one on board.
I appreciate that. Yep.
100%.
I'm telling you, this thing has the potential to be the largest thing that we do. But Mark Black can't bear it alone. I can't carry. See, I don't have no ego in this. I'm man enough to admit
Absolutely, brother.
I'm not qualified
Absolutely.
to carry the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to need my people. I'm going to need my people
Absolutely.
in a big way if we do this right. You see what I'm saying? So thank you, brother. I appreciate you stepping up. I appreciate you being willing to step up and put not just money up, but put your abilities, your mind up. That's more important than anything that you could possibly know, fam.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, man, you touched on it. You really hammered on it today. In that once you claim your lineage, once you claim what ADOS truly means to us as a people, like you said, you cannot not be in awe of what your people have done and what they have accomplished, right? Like, and for us to still be here in the way that we are, even though we are so oppressed and so denigrated in this society, we are still here, and brothers and sisters are standing up and saying we are going to be proud of who we are. We're going to claim the name, and we're going to come for what's owed to us.
That's right.
And you got to understand, there's no other people, and to the people in the chat, there's no other people on the face of this planet that would still be standing like we are, having gone through the greatest atrocity in human history.
That part.
So there is a certain pride that you must take from that, and you should walk around every day with your head high and your chest out with ADOS on your lips to everybody you meet. Everybody you meet, and they want to talk to you about anything. You say, "Oh, have you heard about ADOS?" Because that's what I am, right? That's my lineage. That's where I'm coming from. I want to make sure you're aware of this, so you can take this back into your spaces and tell your people about it, because it's coming, right?
Absolutely.
And another thing I wanted to touch on that I heard you say was, early in the broadcast, you said, that people have a choice, right? And I would just amend that a little bit to say that ignorant people have a choice. You have a choice to stay ignorant, or you have a choice to educate yourself. But once you have the knowledge, and once you see this data, and once you understand the lineage and what it means to be ADOS in this country, you no longer have that choice. Your choice has been taken away. Either you activate or you don't, right? And for me, there was no other choice but to activate, and but to get in this fight, and but to be tirelessly fighting away to get what is owed to our people, to fully redress and recompense us for all that's been done over the past 400 years.
Damn,
So I don't truly believe it's a choice once you understand ADOS. I believe you are called, it's like the draft, right? You are called in for duty. Now, you can dodge your duty if you want to, but know that you've been called.
Absolutely.
And that call is not going away, right?
It's not going away.
Exactly. And so in my personal experience, I don't know if you saw the video or not, but I went down to the Laugh Factory and had a couple of words for Gina Yashir, who was the co-creator on that show. So for me, like what's going through my head in that moment is that this woman is someone who's trafficking in our denigration, in the public stereotyping, in the worst white supremacist tropes about us, and she's here in my backyard. So you're gonna come to my backyard and she's gonna try to eat while she's still doing that.
You think?
And what we have to understand is that is unacceptable. Like, I'm nobody special. I want everybody in chat to understand this. Ain't nothing special about me except the fact that I've clinged to my lineage, and I'm proud of all of y'all. I'm proud of every ADOS that's walking the face of this earth, and I love every ADOS that's walking the face of this earth. That's the only thing about me that made me go down there and let her know this is no longer acceptable. You are not going to be able to move like you want to move. You're not going to be able to eat off of our denigration publicly and nobody say nothing to you about it.
Thanks.
And that is, like you say, once we start cleaving to this lineage and we start wrapping our arms around it, those people can no longer move the way they move. They can no longer eat the way they eat. And we are going to be everywhere they are, in every space that they are, telling them that those days are over. And so what I want everybody, that's why your messages are so important. What I want everybody to understand, what Brother Black is telling you, is that you don't have to be anybody special. All you have to be is ADOS, and you have to realize that, and you have to love being that. And once you get there, the work is easy. The work is real easy, because you'll hear somebody say something to you, be like, oh, no, let me correct you on that.
Woo,
right?
Let me tell you, fam, I watched you channel the ancestors, you feel me? See, that's what I'm talking about, fam. It's not just your work, right? So when you get into this thing, and Chad will tell you, when you get into this thing, it ain't just you. You got the wind of generations, 16 generations of your ancestors behind you, all saying the same thing. March, brother, march. Get what's due us. You can't help but to move.
You can't help it. You can't help it. I can't sit still. Like my man Toolbox in the chat said, you can't sit still, right? I wake up every day on fire. I go to sleep on fire. I can barely go to sleep, right? Because I'm like, who's gonna say something else crazy, right? So it's one of those things where once you put your arms around your people the way that that ADOS has awakened, and like you say, taking those blinders off of us, and now we can see clearly. Once you wrap your arms around your people, you gotta just hold tight, and you gotta love who you are. You gotta love who your people are. That makes it so much easier to go out here and call out these bootlickers and these coons and these collaborators and let them know the days of you getting by on this are over. The days of we allowing you just to move and say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do and act all hee ha ha, and you yucking it up with some white supremacists in the back room about your little joke about the black folks. No, those days are over. It's done. So now you got to make a choice. What side of the fence are you on? If you're on the wrong side of the fence, the friend of my enemy is my enemy, and I'm gonna treat you as such.
Facts.
So I want people to understand, ain't nothing special. Like brother, like I don't want to take away what Brother Black's doing. I don't want to take away what Yvette and Antonio's doing, but everybody understand that this is a movement of people. This is a movement that everybody, like you said, everybody got a skill. Bring whatever. If you don't want to go down to some place and shout somebody down, I understand that. But then write a letter to your congressman, right? Get on the phone and call Comcast, right? Do whatever it is that you are able to do in your space to bring a little bit more fire to the flame, right? A little bit more fight to the fight. Whatever you can do, wherever you are. Because see, what you are 100% correct when you say the one thing they are most fearful of is us waking up and understanding who we are.
Facts.
Once we get who we are in mass, it ain't no stopping this, people. It ain't no it's over. It's over. It ain't no putting the genie back in the bottle. Pandora's box is open. We out and we here. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to say, Brother Black. I mean, peace to you as always. You know, I'm here on Hump Day. I'm so glad when I can catch you because you get me fired up for Yvette's show later on, right? I'll be tuned in on that. But fam, I'm in with you. Like, I'm not just saying that.
No,
I'm in with you. So you got my email now. Hit me. Let me know when you're going to have whatever organizational call where we start getting this thing moving. We start putting some wind behind it, right? Because I'm there, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, brother. And I love you. You stay strong and know that your brother is here for you, man. I got you.
I know, fam. I know. Same here. Ditto from me. I got you.
All right, brother. Peace, man. Woo! Fam, Brother Chad, ladies and gentlemen, I think I proved my point. When you do the one thing that America has worked overtime to ensure that you do not do, which is to understand that you are not a lost people, that you have a history, that you have a lineage, that you have a heritage, that you have a culture, and you, more importantly, have a name, the American descendants of slavery. Once you understand that, fam, it's over. All of the mess, all of the drama is done. It's done, you feel me? We're not taking no shorts. Why? Because we don't have to. What are they going to do to us that they haven't already done to us, fam? More importantly, what are they going to do to us that they haven't already tried? Like America, y'all act like America's brand fucking new. America ain't new. This ain't nothing new. Nothing we face as Xers, as millennials, as Generation Z, none of that is new. The only thing, fam, that is new is these ADOS glasses, these ADOS lenses that we put on, and it lets us see, oh man, wait a minute. You mean that I can be proud of that brother who took that lashing and survived and continued to go out there and work on that plantation to make sure his family can have something to eat? Yeah, you should be proud of that. Should he have been free? Yes. And that's why it's our job to get justice for him, because he could not get it for himself. But he had children, and those children had children, and those children had children until you and I were here. And it is our job to take the baton from our enslaved ancestors and say, don't worry, fam, we got you. We see you. We're thankful to you. You are the reason why we're here. And guess what? We won't rest, and you don't have to rest until our work is done. That's what America's been afraid of. See, you have some of these so-called pro-black, I don't even know what to describe them as, but you have these so-called folk who have been trying to tell us the right thing, but with the wrong message, right? They've been trying to tell us that America's afraid of black people unifying, right? What they didn't tell us is that the shit they was trying to have us unify around wasn't going to work. How you going to have me unify around Africa? I'm not African. And as far back as I've been able to trace back to the 1700s, I haven't been African since then. This is not to say I hate Africa, but to try to get me to tie to something I never known anything about, don't have no part of that How was that supposed to make me not a lost people? How was I supposed to heal the brokenness in my spirit? It doesn't mean that they were wrong in their message that black unity is the greatest threat to the United States of America. Of course it is. But it ain't that we unify, it's what we unify around. I don't want to unify with a bunch of apathetic, bootlick Sambos. I don't want to unify around a bunch of buck dancing, bed winching sellouts. I don't want to unify with the Butter Biscuit Brigade. I want to unify with the least of these. Because for those of you who know your Bible, what does it say? If you done this unto the least of these, my brethren, you have also done it unto me. Well, America has done mad dirt unto the least of my brethren, which means that no matter how the fuck good I might have it individually, they done it to me. And you don't do me dirt without payback. You don't treat me like crap without payback. Calling from 510, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, it's Pretty Muslima. How you doing?
Hey, sister, how you be?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good.
I hope I brought it. You know what? You was partly the inspiration for today's broadcast. I don't know if I.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you was partly the inspiration because you were right. If I got this idea for the pack, I need to make it happen. But I also need to be accountable to my family, let them know I can't carry this burden by myself, right? So
Exactly.
I did my thing. I did my thing right by saying, hey, I don't just need your money. I don't just need the accolades. I need your bodies. I need your brains. I need your time, right? So go ahead, sister. What's on your mind?
First of all, I just want to say shout out to you for taking on the pack. And for letting us know that, you know, yes, I will lead this thing, but hey, I'm not doing this by myself.
Can't do it by myself. I need you.
It has to, and it's true. It has to be a team. So, I mean, you know my background, and I just want to let the family know how generous Brother Mark is with his time. Oh, my goodness. So I sent him a message on Messenger. I don't know, was it like Friday or something like that? It was last week sometime.
Yeah, it was last week. Like I think it was Thursday.
Right. And so I just wanted to get his opinion on us having to identify our lineage, if that should be our burden. And it turned into a 4-hour conversation. So I just want to let the family know just how accessible Brother Mark is. And he was so willing. Like, I just thought maybe we would talk over Messenger. No, he like actually shot me his phone number. Like, just give me a call, sister. So it was great.
I told you, fam, I'm always available to any of you. Anything my family needs, I got you. If you just need to call and get some stuff off your chest, I'm a great listener. I hear you, right? Call me, right? Don't be afraid to link up. Look, this is not just a pretty face on YouTube. All right? I'm flesh and blood, and I'm your brother. If you need me, reach out to me, whether email or join our group. Matter of fact, that was another thing. Pretty Muslima, let me mention this real quick, sister, while I got you on the line. Fam, sure. I got a Discord set up. I got a Facebook group for the Angry Black Sheep set up. Don't be waiting for me to post content. That's y'all stuff. That's our stuff. I made it available so that we can hook up, that we can link together, that we can share resources. We can commiserate with each other. We can build with each other. We can get ideas or ask questions. But those resources, fam, are only as good as the effort you put into it. Right? I can't constantly be the one to put content in the Facebook group or put something on the Discord. Link to the Discord, it's been in every description of every video. But mostly what I see in there is my retweets. Right? That's got to change, fam. We need more than just you maybe throwing a few bucks at your brother, which I appreciate via super chat, right? I want you to take these resources, this platform that I work hard to maintain for you and use it. I beg you. Right? Miss Denny, if you get a chance, drop a link to the Facebook group in the chat. So, fam, I'm gonna make sure that y'all know what's the URL for the Facebook group. Again, link to the Discord is in the description field of every video. And if you don't see nobody else on there, drag other people on there. It's your Discord. It's your Facebook group. Share the content. Share resources. Talk shit. I don't care what you do. Just come and be a part of this thing. Go ahead, sister. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk. But I just want.
It's okay. Can I just say that I missed you on Saturday? Like, I was so anticipating that show, right?
Well, I was struggling a bit on Saturday. I was struggling a bit on Saturday. As you guys know, I do suffer from like this fatigue thing. And you know, I try to keep it a full buck. I don't want to come to y'all unless I can bring y'all what I'm supposed to bring you. So if it's not gonna be right, I don't want to subject y'all to that. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure everybody understands. I got it like after an hour passed by. I'm like, oh, I guess he's not coming on tonight. Maybe Wednesday. So I'm glad you came back on tonight. But one last thing, I really just want to ask you: do you plan on doing a recap of the book after Yvette discusses the book tomorrow?
That's a great question. I actually thought about it, and the answer to that question is going to depend on what happens tomorrow. And I'll tell you why. Because one of the things that I've noticed with the book club is that there's quite a few people that get a chance to get in and comment on the book, right? But then there's a lot of folk that don't. So I'm thinking about doing that on Saturday, but rather than me talking about the book, what I'm going to do is just kind of open up, like I'm going to talk about my, you know, what I gained from the book, just a brief little blurb, and then just open up the lines and let people who want to comment on what they got from the book, where they think we go from here, and so on and so forth. I'm going to open up the lines and just let more people call so that people will get a chance to really kind of explain their thought process, what they took from it, and so on and so forth. What do you think about that, sister? You think that'll be good?
I do. It's so perfect because I really want to get into Yvette. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get in tomorrow. I have like my little quotes picked out and all of that. I got a quote for everybody. I got a quote that I feel strong about Farrakhan. I got a quote for the family, and I also got a quote for Yvette. Like, I have a quote for everybody. So,
that's what's up.
Or, you know, a reference for everybody. So if I don't happen to get in, I really need to express. I have a lot of emotional stuff coming through reading this book. Like, it's crazy. I'm not done yet. I'm almost done. But I was tearful today. It was a lot.
Martin Luther King fed us with that book, fam. If you haven't read it yet, even if you're not going to participate in the book club, Where Do We Go From Here, fam, it's a must read. Like, our brother truly, and I'm not slighting those who believe in other prophets and things like that. So I'm using the word as a euphemism, but he really was prophetic at times in his ability to discern where we were. And what's going to strike you if you haven't read the book is how true where we were is where we are, right? In other words, fam, we still have work to do. Where we go from here is to continue to work, to pick up the baton from our esteemed brother MLK and others and continue to press home what needs to be pressed home. I'm telling you, Saturday's going to be on.
Without giving any spoiler alerts, one last thing. Without giving any spoiler alerts, I would like to piggyback off that and just say, I feel like everything that Dr. King laid out in the book still, like, it feels like he's talking to me right now.
Yeah.
It's almost like we were frozen in time.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like, he got assassinated and time just froze.
Yeah.
Because everything that's in the book is everything right now, magnified.
Exactly. I mean, if you think about it.
I got fearful because we're going through the same thing.
Yvette talked about that when she talks about our continual re-enslavement every generation. See, fam, the reason why ADOS is so important isn't just to make you feel good. Right? ADOS is important because it breaks the cycle, right? When you cleave to your heritage and to your lineage, you're no longer subjected to the same dynamics that continue to enslave our people from generation to generation, right? But without that lens, It's nigh on impossible to question the premises that continue to uphold white supremacy and black domination, and their domination over ADOS folk, right? So that's really important, fam. Sister, I'm gonna let you have the last word.
I just really want to encourage the family to continue to do the work. Do not be discouraged by the apathy that's all around us. It's just that people are ignorant. And so I always say it is my job to replace ignorance with information. And so if we just walk in love and replace that ignorance with information, we will be golden. We are continuing Dr. King's legacy, and all we have to do is do the work. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Brother Mark. Everybody have a good night.
You do the same, Tam. It's good to hear from you, sister. Peace. Fam, I couldn't have said it better. I'm gonna end it on that because I don't think I could have said it any better, right? All we have to do, fam, is just understand that we are continuing to stand on the shoulders of giants, right? Every other people in this country have no problem with readily acknowledging the contribution of those that came before, right? The contribution of those who came before us, while slightly different, is no less important, right? We stand on the shoulders of giants. We all have our ADOS heroes that we honor, that we esteem, that we respect, that we love, that we lift up. We don't need to denigrate those who came before us for any failure because they didn't fail us, fam. You need to understand that. I'm going to tell you the real God honest truth before I go. The big reason why many of y'all don't want to cleave to ADOS is because you see our history as a history of failure. I don't. And a matter of fact, it's clearly established that our history isn't a history of failure. You know how I can tell you that with a certainty? Because had we failed, we wouldn't be here to have this damn discussion. If our ancestors had truly failed in their efforts to continue our tribe, to bring us to a point where we can fight every generation for justice, we would have been long a footnote in history. The very fact that you are here, the living evidence of their success, the living evidence of the justice that is owed to us first and to America second, right? Our history is not a history of failure. It is our job to build upon the successes of the ones that came before us. Honor your history. Claim the name. Honor your ancestors. And let's do work, fam. We all we got. That's as true as it's ever been. So, fam, I want to thank you all, as always, for the love, the support. You know what? Screw it. I'll take one more call. Let's do it. Caller from 513. It's your man, Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind?
What up with it? It's James, man.
James, what's up, brother?
Man.
What's good, fam? Talk to us.
You already know what it is. First and foremost, I want to let you know, bro, man, the first time I heard you, I was like, man, I mean, it like brought tears in my eyes because you were so adamant about what we're supposed to be doing as far as ADOS, as far as being a black man and all that type of stuff, man. And the first time I heard you was actually on BGS Edmore.
Yeah.
About like a year ago, man.
Yeah, shout out to the elder brother BGS, man.
Absolutely, and it was great. It was gorgeous, man. Like the orating skills, it was crazy. I'm like, okay, big bro, like that's why I'd be like, man, Mark Black, big homie, and everybody gotta understand. I want everybody to know and understand one thing: that the homie Mark Black really means the business when it comes to this ADOS and just being a black man in general.
That's right.
Yes, sir, and I've never even got on YouTube. I was kind of like, everybody be a little bit nervous, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to speak up and say what it do. Now, but at the end of the day, as far as this ADOS, man, let me tell you something. Everybody got to understand, and we need our brothers to fall in line. I've had discussions with both on the street in front of the record store. They like, oh, bro, man, and Nancy Pelosi and the whole 9 yards. I'm like, man, to be quite honest with you, no. Where's our black agenda?
Facts.
Mr. Mark?
Facts. You know what? You know what it is? Our black agenda is simple. Do you support the remediation, the restoration, and the repair of the American descendants of slavery up to and including but not limited to cash payments?
Absolutely.
Period.
And the thing about it, yes, sir. Straight period. Facts. And I be talking to our brothers, and I don't want to throw dirt or, dig the grave, but a lot of them on the street level, you know how I be. You talk to them.
I do.
Listening. They be like, oh, man, it's the Democrats, and we going to vote Trump out. And look, let me tell you, brother, something right now. Let me be very clear on Black Outcast Media, down with my brother Mark Black. We don't care about Donald Trump being the president. As a matter of fact, he actually is doing more with his policies for black people than the average Democrat. That's a fact. So let us be clear again. Let us be coherent again. You feel me? We not, just like I said, we can't keep going for the okie doke. And I say I'm afraid because my people, they don't be wanting to listen, but you get the ones in the corner, they will listen. But we ain't got no time to be picking sides. We're literally politicians ourselves.
That's right.
We're politicians. Go for what you want.
That's right. We are politicians ourselves. Here we are sitting here waiting for politicians to acknowledge us, and at every turn they disrespect us. ADOS, you are the politician you've been waiting for. These bastards won't put their name in your mouth or put your name in their mouth. You put your name in their mouth. You make it to where they can't speak about nothing else. And I can guarantee you, come 2020 and 2022 and 2024, as this transformational moment gathers steam and more of us start to embrace our heritage and our lineage, them politicians is going to have a rough road to hoe messing with us.
Well, the thing they got to understand is that at this point in time, I'm a 34-year-old black man, originally from Dayton, live in Cincinnati. You feel me? And I said it the way I wanted to, because we be so grammatically correct as being an ADOS. We control and dictate all of everything.
Yes, sir.
How they move, how they flag. Don't even appreciate us. And I want our brothers and our sisters to appreciate what we did, what we offer as our sisters, our brothers, our top and our bottoms. It don't matter. I done learned hella games from the bottom barrel. The guys that tell me, like, look, bro, man, you going to walk black, be black. You want to be black, be black. And like I said, though, at the beginning, not to be too animated, Mr. Mark Black, I remember the first time I heard you, it brought me to tears at my job, walking around with my earbuds on, because you were so adamant about this thing, about being that atom that is black. We all got to understand that we ain't nobody's toy. We ain't nobody's push around. We ain't nobody's shuffleboard. We ain't nobody's doormat. When you knock on our door, you gonna have something in your hand. I got homie in Seattle right now, moved out there a couple years ago. Good big homie. Whatever I ask him, it ain't about that. It's about I'm gonna hold my brother down. You feel me?
Yep.
That is because we about that life.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, man, Mr. Mark Black, and I say that with real respect, bro. Keep going on, man. Keep pushing on. Do whatever you do. I got you. As soon as I got it, you got it. And everybody on here, every contributor, every liker, everybody that's on YouTube that deal with Mr. Mark Black, y'all got to take and look, you just smell your flowers while they're here, bro.
That's right.
On God. You feel me?
I
And
feel
that's
you,
all I got
fam.
to say, Mr. Black.
I feel you, fam.
I
And
don't want
thank
to blow
you.
your
Hey,
stuff up.
don't be no stranger, fam. I'll come find you. You call in to the show. All right. Don't ever be afraid to talk to your people.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'll do that. This is my first time. I was like, I know I'll be. I want everybody to know I'm not trying to be animated. This is who I am. This is the man that I am.
Be you, fam. We need you too. Be you. Do you. But do it with
Yes, sir.
us. That's all Mark Black asks. Do ADOS however you do it. Just do it with me. This ain't hard.
No, it's not. I just want everybody to know it's not. We do got good brothers. I know it's messed up out here. I know it'll be guys you talk to and they say they're gonna do, and they'll show up and they're an hour and 20 minutes late, or a year and 40 minutes late, whatever it's gonna be. But I need my brothers to understand something. Just point it out. Look at it. Pay attention. It's like Mr. Mark Black be doing, bro. He always be putting his own game, and people acting like they don't know, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't never come to tears. Like, I was like, man. And that's no hyperbole or nothing.
Hey, fam, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Like I said, we got hearts that are 3 sizes too big, fam. You should always be able to be moved to tears when you look at the beauty, the richness, the greatness of the people that you are part of. Those tears, man, are healing. Those tears help wash away the pain and help lift you up. Never be afraid to let that, man, look, I cried to drop a hat, and damn who don't like it. Why? Because I got a lot to cry for, but I got a lot to be happy about. I'm fine. I'm not lost, fam.
Yeah.
I'm a black sheep, but I'm not a lost sheep. I have a people. I have a nation. I have a flag. I have a history. I have a lineage. And it's right here in the good old US of A. And damn anybody who don't like it.
Right. Yep, I be walking around with my stripes on my heart all the time. Every time I see anybody, whether you from here, whether you white or black, Latino, all that, man, it is what it is. But I know for a fact on both sides, 80 on 4 generations back, Monotone, Florida.
Yes, sir.
With the dirt roads, you feel me?
Yes, sir.
So, and with the barns, with the cats and the 5-foot hill ants. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So already know, like, and that's what they put in me too, because that's my people, that's my guys. But don't get it twisted. I want everyone to know. And let's be clear. When we on Mark Black channel, we can be turned up, and we can also be politically correct. We can be grammatically correct. We can be on point. We can put our thumb on. We can put our finger on it, because we are AUS. We are the rhythm of this country. Them stars and stripes. I don't listen to the Star Spangled Banner unless when I want to.
That's right.
And that's it.
That's
oh,
right.
God.
On everything.
I like my Whitney on my Star Spangled Banner. I don't know about you brothers out there. But
hey, I'm going to tell you, I don't care if Francis Scott Key's racist ass wrote it. That's my song. I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
Mr. Mark Black, we know he wrote it, and it was like racist, but it's always been racist. Where are we at? Like, you know, all of them are. We're all prejudiced, but you got some racism. Racism is a system.
Hey, look, fam, if you ADOS and racism is stopping you from doing anything, you may as well not even leave your damn house. If racism is the arbiter of what you think you're able to accomplish as ADOS or not, fam, you in the sunken place. I don't give a damn who's racist. What I care about is my lineage, my people, and this justice claim. Damn everything else. Fam, hey, I want to thank you, fam, for you having the courage to speak up, to call in, make sure you are not a stranger. You know what I'm saying, fam? And by the grace of everything holy, sacred, and true, I hope I continue to give you what you need and to hold it down for you, fam, because you're the reason why I fight. All of you are. And I love you, brother, and I respect you, and I thank you.
Yes, sir. It's at the end of the day, you know, this is my closing statement. But at the end of the day, you know what, Mr. Mark Black, we all, I'm telling you, we all ride for you. They don't even know, man. This is like, you know, how you will be somewhere and you need it and you get it and you like, okay, and you like, your hands shaking and you got that LeBron James joint going off in the air and you're throwing the smoke in the air. That's where we at right now.
That's right.
They better watch. They better watch us. They better know we're not playing with them. And I will be doing more work.
I appreciate it, fam. We need you. We need you and everything you bring. So I thank you, brother. I hope you have yourself a great night. Do not be a stranger. Please call back again.
Yes, sir.
All right. Fam, I'm done. That brother sealeth up the sum. You heard me? If you don't understand what it is, at this point, you dead from the neck up. I don't know what to tell you. If you get a hold to your heritage, your lineage, and become a black sheep, not a lost one, fam, many hands, right? Many hands makes this work light. But we need your ass. We don't need your money. It's helpful, right? But we need you, right? Do I need to put on my Uncle Sam hat and the red, white, and blue clothes and be like, Uncle Mark Black wants you, right? Do I need to be that guy? Because I will be that guy. We need every single ADOS person on the front lines. We need no more fence sitters. We need no more bootlicks. We need no more, well, what ifers? Damn all that. America is all about go big or go home. If we want this justice claim, if we want to quiet the voices of our ancestors who keep screaming at us for not getting justice for them, then we got work to do. It's as simple as that. You don't get to shuffle it off on your pet advocate, on the person you think is most qualified. Damn it, if it's a good enough idea for me to pursue, it's a good enough idea for you to pursue. So if you can't pursue it yourself, that's all right. Pursue it with me, right? I don't care how you do ADOS. Do it with me. That's all I got to say, fam. Hey, I love you all. Thank you so much. Fam, Yvette's going to be broadcasting tonight. You know she's going to kill the game. I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there? Right? And I'm not talking about no CPT shit, right? Are you going to be there? Right? Fam, I love you. Thank you so much for your time. For Brother Chad, thank you for the donation via Super Chat. Sister Tanzonia, as always, thank you for the love in the Super Chat. Sister Naima, thank you. Miss Denny, thank you. And everybody else I missed, family, thank you all, right? I am continually floored and awed by you. And I need you to understand that you are awesome and awe-inspiring people, fam. Every last one of you, from the least of us to the greatest of us, right? Never forget that, fam. Never forget it. So, family, Saturday, I'm going to talk briefly about the book. And then I'm going to open it up and let y'all talk about what you learned from the book. And we're going to have a discussion about where we go from here via Martin Luther King's text, right? So until then, fam, as always, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power, real power to our people.